Good evening, Mr. Mario. How are you?
Oh, Chandrajit, good evening to you. All right.
Okay. Yeah, all well? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so all set. We will start in the next 5 minutes.
sure, no problem.
Dr. Dawn?
Yes, madam. Tell me.
We are just waiting for students to join. We've informed them. They're saying it's still about some time for 5-6 minutes left. So they will probably join. There are 28, I think, total. We can see the number of participants.
Okay.
So we'll just wait for 5-10 minutes more. If you
Okay.
would. Yeah.
Okay. So it is 3:57 within 5 minutes more. If they will join, they will join. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, sir, you are operating from your office or
I am
at home?
from my office.
Okay, okay.
This is my chamber. I am from my office. I am taking
Oh,
class
great.
through online.
You stay on campus or?
I am just that in one room. So there are 60 rooms in
Lovely,
MDLC
lovely.
campus. So
Great.
I am staying in one room. I know professors also, some professors also staying in the MDRC building.
Okay.
So in the pandemic, we started this staying in the campus since March, April. So April.
Right.
So so movement was that time was freeze. So all professors they stayed here. They took their classes from their campus itself, and
Correct.
also the office staff also stayed at that time.
Oh,
And
right.
the COVID problems also that it is also going on.
Right, right.
That we are also staying, but the campus we have a good that facility.
No, your campus is excellent. I had been.
We also have the hostel. Students
Right.
want to stay in the hostel, but due to the government bar, these things right now,
Correct.
government has
Correct,
not given the permission. So we are not giving the permission to stay in the hostel.
Right. No, in fact, lovely ambience. I had been to your
Yes,
CBS and I went there, in fact, for a brief visit. I'll show you.
Also, any day you come, you will also stay
Right.
in one room. We will also,
Right.
we will also give all type of hospitality.
Right, right.
And again,
No, lovely. Beautiful ambience,
you can
beautiful
also, you can
ambience.
also take something, some 1 or 2 hours class also with the
Right,
students.
right. Sure,
And
sir.
our
Sure,
students are very obedient.
sure,
They are really
sure.
good.
नहीं नहीं यार सही चीज है यार सही चीज है
Okay, so we are good to go.
Yes, 1 minute, after 1 minute.
Oh, excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. You know, I really got a thing for American guys. I mean,
Some was Professor Mr. Mitro. As Professor Singhi, she told me that some 20-25 students will join. So within 5 minutes, they will also join.
We're already having 64 right now.
Yeah, we have around 64 participants.
So about 58 students have joined, and I'm sure they'll join.
Ma'am, you're attending college almost every day?
Yeah, I'm sitting in college only.
Oh my God.
We had
Okay.
opened college in July only.
Right.
Sorry, in
Right.
fact, June.
Okay.
But since yesterday, we've again shut down for the teachers.
Okay.
And from tomorrow, the non-teaching staff will go thrice a week.
Sure.
Because
No, situation in Maharashtra is pretty bad.
it's very
Maharashtra situation is bad because I was just watching NDTV just before, in fact, coming to this platform. That chalta hai attitude has led to the surge. So my deliberation will also be something in that chalta hai tune as well among the students community.
I'm only worried because the students are going to completely lose out on. They've already lost 1 year.
Yeah,
Don't know
correct.
there's going to be another year to go.
Right.
I think 70 and 72 students have joined.
77.
Right. 70. It has gone to 78.
Mr. Mitro, Chandran Mitro.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, you can start.
Yes, please tell me. So let's, should we start, ma'am?
I think we can start if there are more, they will join in gradually, but we should not wait.
Because we will take about 5 minutes to introduce, maybe perhaps in 5 minutes they can. Great, so good evening everyone, and I extend a very warm welcome for this exclusive webinar on behalf of Calcutta Business School from the century-old Shikayatan Foundation. We have another very interesting webinar coming up today, and this is especially for my very, very valuable students of JD Birla Institute. Let me also welcome the dignitaries here, the Secretary General of CBS, Professor Dipali Singhi, who is the principal of the JD Birla Institute, Dr. Shuman Kumar Da, who is the principal of CBS Calcutta Business School, our moderator and Chief Placement Officer of CBS, Ms. Pragya Biswas, the students of JD Birla Institute, all the faculties, ladies and gentlemen, and lastly, our speaker, very, very eminent luminary for the evening, Mr. Mario Martin Louis. Okay, so this is Chandrajit Mitra from Calcutta Business School, a very prestigious, reputed, and ranked #2 in the East Zone among the distinct business schools of India. Calcutta Business School is under the S.K. Birla Group and the Shikayatan Foundation, which has already completed a century in the education space. So I must say that each attendee here today is a very proud member of this elite group that we all belong to this monumental educational foundation. So thank you very much for all of you for joining. And I'm sure you're going to have an extremely interesting webinar. The topic of the webinar today is employability in the age of technology evolution and disruption. I would request everyone to please mute their mics while the session is on and make this session very, very interesting with a lot of questions which must come from the students and everyone else, which Mr. Mario Martin Louis will be very, very happy to answer and interact with. At the same time, I would request all the students here to kindly fill up the feedback form that has already been shared, and I will keep sharing this more often so that you can give your inputs and suggestions. So now, before we begin, I would like to introduce our eminent speaker today. Mr. Mario Martin Louis, we have with us today as the speaker, who is the Training and Placement Officer at the St. Xavier's University, Kolkata. He is a Bachelor of Commerce in Honors from St. Xavier's, Kolkata. He has done his Masters of Business Administration in Human Resource from the Pondicherry University, Master of Social Work from Indira Gandhi National Open University, and postgraduate diploma in Marketing and Sales from Bhavans College of Management and Communication, Kolkata. He has served several organizations of repute like the HelpAge India, Apollo Gleneagles Hospital, BP Poddar Hospitals Limited, CK Birla Hospitals in administration, public relations, business development, media relations, branding and communications, operations, statutory compliances, to name a few. But at the end of it, I must say he has fantastic hobbies like reading, writing, sightseeing, soccer, public relations, public speaking, all of those. And he sincerely believes on the quote of Sri Ramakrishna, never say you know more, just go on and on, thinking the game has just begun. So this is all about the speaker today. I will also take a lot of pleasure in introducing our Chief Placement Officer, Ms. Pragya Biswas. Pragya, presently the Chief Placement Officer of Calcutta Business School, has a decade of experience in the field of training and placement of students of various higher educational institutions, including the universities and colleges. She has associated with institutions like Globsing Business School, Techno India Group, NSHM Knowledge Campus Group of Institutions, BIBS, to name a few. She has been instrumental in designing careers of the youth. She is also a certified neurocognitive expert and a clinical hypnotherapist and a cognitive behavioral therapist. So I welcome both of you, and I would request Pragya and hand this over for her to moderate this. And later on, I would request the principal of J.D. Birla College, Dr. Dipali Singhi ji, to come on and speak a few words towards while the session is on at the right point of time. So Pragya, welcome, and I hand over the session to both of you. Thank you very much and welcome once again.
Thank you, Chandrajit. Thank you, Chandrajit, for that wonderful introduction. Yeah. Now,
thank
Pragya.
you, Mr. Mitra, for the introduction, as Mr. Mario had stated. So, as Mr. Mitra has already given an idea about the topic of today's discussion, which is employability in the age of technology evolution and disruption. So as we all know that this COVID has actually evolved and disrupted the technology space across the domain, across the sectors that is wherein technology is being used. So same has happened in the employability space as well. So with respect to this particular topic, I would like to ask my first question to Mr. Mario. What do you think? What are the advantages and disadvantages that this disruption, technology disruption, has introduced in the recruitment space of the different organizations? So what's your take on the statement on this?
Okay, Prajna, before I start, I would like to, in fact, go about a bit officially about this whole session. Respected Mrs. Brotuti Bhattacharya, Secretary General, Sikshayatan Foundation. Respected Mr. Saurabh Ghosh, Advisor, Sikshayatan Foundation. Respected Dr. Shuman Kumar Dawn, Principal in Charge, Calcutta Business School.
Mute yourself. Students, please
may I
mute
request
yourself.
everyone to please mute their mics. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for making this session interesting. Thank you.
Mr. Mario, can you please unmute yourself? You have muted yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Respected Professor Dr. Dipali Singhi, Principal J.D. Birla Institute, Mr. Chandrajit Mitra, Chief Business Development and Strategic Planning. Is it Pragya Biswas or Prajna Biswas? How do you pronounce your name?
It's Pragya.
Pragya Biswas, okay. And of course, Mrs. Aditi De Chatterjee, Confidential Secretary, for introducing me to this great center of learning. Respected faculty members, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. I'm honored to be a part of this knowledge sharing endeavor, ruled by Calcutta Business School under the dynamic leadership of Mrs. Brotachi Bhattacharya and our vibrant team members. Now, before I answer the question of Pragya, let me quote the Tales of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, which is very relevant in today's society. It goes like this: it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. So considering today's situation, and we have chosen a topic to speak about employability in times of with technology evolution and disruption of technology. Now, the first question which has been thrown to me by Pragya is let us first understand what is disruptive technology is all about. Disruptive technology is a term that applies to gadgets, electronics, services, and concepts that have a major impact on the respective industry, ultimately changing them in irreversible ways. Now, gone are the days when we think about normal phone. Now we are all using Android phone. Gone are the days when we used to switch on and switch off TV. Now we are talking about remote. Now, in fact, there's a touch screen. So disruptive technology is any innovation that dramatically changes the way consumers, business, and industries operate. Now, everything has its advantage as well as disadvantage. If you go back to the 80s, when the computerization came into our country, there was a big hue and cry under the dynamic leadership of the then Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. There was a big hue and cry that this will ultimately lead to unemployment. People will be left out without jobs, and there's going to be a complete chaos if we move from the traditional pen and paper work to computerization. So when we embraced that technology in those days, now we can get the advantage of what it gives to mankind as a whole. So as far as the advantages are concerned, I will just highlight few advantages. The first advantage I would like to take up is that the innovative benefits, because this is something new which is benefiting mankind. And those who are into various kind of startup business, it gives some ample opportunity to explore various technologies which are available. And of course, we are thinking about growth, we are thinking about advancement, we are thinking about progress. So there is a tremendous room for growth of business. Now, everything has both sides of a coin, the advantage side as well as the disadvantage side. To sum up, to just highlight few disadvantages, I would like to, in fact, take up the unrefined invention, because it is not refined, because the technology is a dynamic subject. So it keeps on changing. There was a time when the doctors used to do a traditional conventional surgery. Say, for example, if I talk about gallbladder stone, in medical parlance, we call it laparoscopic cholecystectomy, where the doctors used to adopt a traditional incision was made in the abdomen, and the incision was 10-12 inch. Now what the doctors do is that they use a light source and a camera, and they make a small incision in the abdomen, and with the help of that light source and camera, they remove the gallbladder stone, they remove the gallbladder. So there has been a shift from the conventional surgery to laparoscopic cholecystectomy surgery, which in common term, we go and tell the doctor, I would like to get the microsurgery done. So it is still in an unrefined invention stage. So there is a learning stage. A certain section of doctors who are trained abroad are competent to operate, but there is also a section of doctors who are not trained, who is to be trained, and then automatically we will start embracing the new technology. And then anything which comes new has some performance problem. So there will be in fact, a teething problem, but we need to iron out those teething problem gradually with time. And of course, now since it's a new technology, there is no proven application. So we have to do the acid test every step by step, and then gradually we move on. So now coming back to your question, Pragya, like as you said regarding the advantages and disadvantages. Now, of course, it has an advantage and it also has a disadvantage. But to sum up your question, I would like to quote from Ernest Hemingway. He says that, but man is not made for defeat. A man may be destroyed, but not defeated.
Great, great. As you rightly said that every coin has its two sides. So obviously disruptive technology would also be having its advantages and disadvantages. And as you rightly quoted the last statement that we cannot defeat, we are not born to defeat, rather we are born to face it out and move forward. So
Right.
with that context, my next question to you would be like, obviously since it's the initial phase wherein we all are trying to get accustomed with this new format of you may say format of learning, new format of working, because normally students used to study in a offline or physical mode. We, the employees or the working professionals, we used to work in a offline mode wherein we used to go to office and work. Now this entire technology disruption, the evolution has taken a shape wherein we are more into online, and obviously the future is going to be a blended format. Now since we are going to get accustomed with this, and obviously it's going to affect the employability aspect for the corporate recruiters as well as the students who are going to be termed as the job seekers once they pass out their college. So my next question to you, what do you think, what are the problems the students face in this new format of interview process that they need to face while cracking a job to get an employment, and what the recruiters are facing in terms of finding an employable candidate for their organization? Over to you, Mr. Mario.
Now, from the recruiter's perspective, the COVID-19 has hit so badly. Now the companies are contemplating how to go about with the recruitment. But given the situation, because the show has to continue, they need to recruit people. Like recently, we had recruiters in our campus as well from different companies. They have recruited candidates from various districts. So the major challenges which the recruiters are getting is they are in fact coming across the candidates only through the digital platform. There is no face-to-face interaction with the students. Now, when I say that digital platform, you are not aware about the quality of the students from the recruiter's perspective. At the same time, there are, in fact, students as well, the recruitee, I'm saying, even the recruitees, there are some recruitees who are not getting the opportunity of really exhibiting their talents and skills. Or if I sum it up, their talent, their skill, as well as their ability. KSA in HR parlance. If I use the HR parlance, it's KSA. And this is such a platform. There are still a good number of students who are yet to get accustomed. Now, I'm talking certainly like as we were having a session, and in fact, we can see in the background there is some noise or the other. Then immediately your seniors intervened and they were trying to plug the problem. So these are, in fact, we call it as technical glitches, the term which is very, very, very common. So as far as the online thing is concerned, conducting a session, like Today, I got a mail from a group called Seraph Group. They want to conduct a JD online for the students. Now, conducting a JD online for the students itself is a challenge. Now, tomorrow we have that JD online session. So tomorrow I'll be conducting a session with the students to appraise them how to go about with the online group discussion. Now, this also becomes a challenge. Certainly, he said that I will be, the first 1 hour will be for 11 students. The next 1 hour will be for the next batch of students. So we have to train these batch of 11 students as to how to go about what to say, what not to say. Now, having the group discussion in a traditional way is going to be more productive compared to the online. But given the situation, you are left with no options. It's like beggars cannot be choosers. The platform is there. It's online, means online. We have to embrace it. We are left with no other option. So these are the major, in fact, the major challenge is regarding the interconnectivity problem. That is very, very major. And there are, in fact, few students. Let us accept the fact that interacting in front of the screen, giving interview or facing any kind of JD is difficult. At the same time, one has to be very careful about the background which is there, how they are dressed. So all these things matter. But when you go for a formal interview, you're prepared that I need to wear this shirt, I need to wear this pant, I need to wear this kind of tie, things like that. So there, in fact, every nitty-gritty, you get into it and you try to address it. But again, in online, it is always a challenge. But
Very true, Mr. Mario. What we have witnessed this time, like majority, I would say around 50-60 companies have already visited, and around, I would say, 90% of the companies are doing the process over online, wherein you start from group discussion to your first round of interview to final round of interview. Excepting few companies, majority is happening over the
Yeah.
online format, right?
Yeah,
Now, as you said, that the students are still on the learning phase of like getting accustomed on a format like online and giving their best, though they don't have the competence or skills or KSA, as you stated, as per HR parlance. So what do you think, it is actually affecting the hit ratio for the institute in terms of getting students placed, wherein if it would have been a physical mode of interview, the number of uh, mm, people getting jobs would have been more. Rather, that is happening here because students are still on the adapting mode. So what do you think, what would be the approach of an institute? Because as we are understanding, as we are gauging, that this mode is going to go for the next few years. This is going to be the future. Rather, it would be a blended format, uh, partially online, partially offline. So what do you think, what would be a take of an institute to address an issue like this, and wherein ultimate objective of getting a student a job offer post completion of their course becomes a successful one? What's your input on this?
now you see the challenge as an institute, which most of us are facing. I remember when we were young, when we used to go to school and all that, our parents used to say that, Baba, tui manush hoye ja. Okay. Deepali ma'am, I hope I'm audible.
To hear you. We are just
Okay.
trying to see how many students are getting in. That's why trying to solve that issue.
Right, right. So,
Another outcome of this disruptive technology. Got to check whether children have joined or not.
right,
Get
right.
to know who's in your class and who's not.
Yeah, that's right. So like in fact, in those days, our parents used to send us to school to acquire, in fact, knowledge. And they used to tell us that, Baba, tui manush hoye ja. But now, in fact, the trend has changed. Before getting the sons and daughters into any of the B school, the first question which comes to their mind before, in fact, admitting the sons and daughters, they tell us, they inquire that what is the status of placement of the last batch? What was the last salary which was offered? Who are the recruiters who had come? I personally feel is that it is the students who bring recruiters to the campus. It is the students who in fact change the face of the institute. It is the students who lure the recruiters to the campus. So ultimately, what you put in during your 2 years of, in fact, postgraduate course, that is ultimately going to fetch recruiters on your campus. It is not that we generate jobs. We don't generate jobs. Institute doesn't generate jobs. We act as a facilitator. We act as a link man between the recruiter as well as the prospective candidates. So the student has to train himself or herself in order to face that disruptive situation which is prevailing in the market. Now, over here, I want to add something. Now, most of the institute, what they do is that they leave the entire grooming part onto the third party. Now, we do require the help of the third party for grooming the students who are passing out or who are in the verge of their completion of their courses in management. At the same time, the internal faculty members also play a major role because these faculty members, they spend almost 2 years with the students. So they understand the pulse of the students. They understand the students better than the third party. Now, the third party can supplement whatever has been, in fact, administered by the existing batch of faculty to groom these students. So the grooming plays a very, very important role because the third party comes in, he or she does his part and they wrap up. Thank you very much. My job is done. Now it is over to Pragya to take care of the recruitment because I was hired for 6 months. And in that 6 months, I have conducted a series of events. And I hope that event has groomed your student to face the challenges of the corporate world. So along with the third party, the existing faculty members should also get into it and they must ensure that the students are groomed properly. I'll give you a small example. Supposedly, the students from your HR domain, in fact, have got an offer from Apollo Gleneagles Hospital for the post of management trainee in HR. Now, obviously, the students will go through the profile of Apollo Gleneagles Hospital as to what is Apollo Gleneagles Hospital is all about. The JD has been very well explained in the mail which you have received, and you have shared that mail with the students concerned. Now, in this particular case, I would appreciate, which we have done in our situation as well, we made the student understand what is the role of an HR in a healthcare sector, because the role of an HR in the healthcare sector is very different from a role of an HR in a manufacturing sector, the role of an HR in an educational sector, the role of an HR in an industry in general. So we have to make them understand, because an HR of a hospital deals with the doctors, whom we call as registered medical officer. They deal with paramedical staff. They deal with the nursing staff. They deal with all sorts of, in fact, support staff who put together, in fact, they run the institution. So simply like I have been called for an interview for the post of an HR trainee, and I come from CBS, and I immediately run for the interview. I went through the profile of Apollo Gleneagles Hospital. That's very nice of you. And who are the other players who are in this similar industry? But more than that, what is important is that what is that is expected of an HR of a hospital sector. The moment if the teachers, if the faculty members, if they give this mantra to the students, I'm sure they will be successful as far as the interview is concerned.
Very, very rightly put in, Mr. Mario, as you said rightly, that faculties have a very pivotal role to play in terms of grooming the students from the domain perspective, subject domain perspective, as well as on the overall grooming as well. Because though we leave, even if we leave it to the third party, they will do their part. It's the institute who has to play the main role. That's what an ideal institute should be, to cope any sort of situation which is unwanted and that we can face at any point of time, because this era is very unpredictable, because
Yeah,
we
that's
are
right.
going through a very unpredictable era. So, Mr. Mario, as you said that students have to, if the faculties have to groom the students, students should also be sincere. It's the students who has to lure the recruiters, as you have rightly stated. It's not the institute who, institute is there to facilitate you in terms of making you employable. It's not the job consultancy wherein to just generate jobs. Now, from the perspective of recruiters, once they're coming to recruit from a particular institute, and in this era of technology disruption, since the topic is technology disruption, what do you think, can the assessment go wrong by the recruiters while they conduct an assessment process in terms of GDPI or first round as aptitude? Can the assessment go wrong while evaluating a candidate during an interview process by the recruiter?
I will answer your question by giving you a very simple example. Today, I had this session, and I wanted to conduct the session from a place where I am not disturbed by my mundane activities. So what I did is that I went today to the chief information officer of the university, and I told him that I need a laptop and I need a separate room where I can sit and conduct the session, because if I want to do it from my room, there is every possibility somebody or the other will call me and I will not do justice. And then I'll be put behind bar by Rotuti ma'am as well as by Dipali ma'am. So I met him in person, and then he said that, Mario, just send me a mail. And I send him a mail. So you see, personal touch really matters. Okay, because if I would have sent him a mail, saying that I need a room, I need a laptop, and immediately he would have replied over that laptop, over the mail, okay, Mr. Mario, please go ahead. This particular room has been assigned and I'm deputing an IT guy to coordinate with you and everything will be in place. But going and speaking in person always makes a difference. So even in case of the recruiters also, there are chances. I'm not disputing the fact. I'm not saying that they will not get the right candidate. They may not get the right candidate. The assessment from the recruiters might be wrong. And at the same time, a good recruitee might also be missed out in the process. So there is a challenge, because personal touch really matters. Personal touch really matters.
So as we
I like today's session, I would have loved to come and speak in JD Birla Institute under the dynamic leadership of Dipali
I
ma'am.
think we will definitely get in touch with you so that my children can benefit from your interesting talks. I'm sure of that.
Right. And then again, in fact, conducting a session in this mode, I don't know how far I'll be able to do justice. I'm trying to give my level best. I don't know how much I'll be able to touch on the subject that we have taken up today.
Very true. So personal factor, personal touch matters a lot.
Absolutely.
Matters a lot. So since we are a victim of this phase that we are going through, so being an institute, what to do in this context when a deserving candidate is not being is being evaluated in a wrong manner during the interview process by the recruiter, wherein the recruiter is a miss for the recruiter, is a miss for the institute as well. So how to bridge this gap?
Now, again, I come back to that same issue. If we recall, a couple of days back, in fact, you all had a session about on Grab the Job. So where your principal in charge, Dr. Dawn, had mentioned few of the qualities. So again, we come back to the grooming. So grooming. That is, in fact, the crux of the story. Once Mr. Oberoi was questioned, what is the secret of your property? Then he said, location, location, and location.
True.
Okay, so if you really want to put your students in the right place at the right time to the right recruiter, the grilling process should be on from the day one. We should not leave completely to the third party, because Deepali ma'am understands her students better than me going and taking a session. Maybe I will supplement the endeavor which she has put in over the years. But again, at the same time, because I will talk from the practical perspective, I will talk from the industry perspective, but she understands her students better. Or before the session, she gives me a lead, Mario, this particular boy or this particular girl, I think you need to put some questions to them. So I'm prepared. So I do it in my own style. I approach that student, hey, come on, what is your take on this? So he or she speaks up. So in that process, what happens, her humble effort and my, in fact, icing the cake has transformed that student into an effective employee for the organization in the days to come.
Very true, very true. The faculty understands the student psyche better than anybody else, because
Right.
they have been spending the majority of their time with the students, grooming up their educational skills, their domain knowledge, and as an overall persona, I would say.
Right.
So in that context, I would say that any proper in a good institute would always be depending upon their core faculties or core strength, rather than outsourcing it to some third party vendor. And that should be the exact case in any good institute.
Right.
Now coming to this again, technology evolution that has happened, the disruption that has happened, what we are seeing that internship, I'll come to the internship. Last year what we have witnessed, that majority all the 100% of the internships had happened online. What do you think, how much it adds benefit to the reality of any student's better self, an online internship in comparison to an offline practical internship?
Now, internship is again a part and parcel of the academic journey which students undertake. There is a very popular song, Nodi Jodi Bole, Shagorer Kache Ashbo na, ta ki hoy? Megh Jodi Bole, Akasher Buke Hasbo na. Phul Jodi Bole, Bhromorero Gan Shunbo. So a student has to undergo internship, whether it is in offline or whether it is online. Of course, offline has got major advantages because there is again the question of personal touch. You are directly under the supervision of your mentor. Now, when I'm undergoing an internship on an offline mode, I'm directly under the supervision of my mentor, and I can approach my mentor n number of times if I have any kind of doubt. I can adopt his style, I can copy his style, and I will become a complete person while doing my internship. And I work in what is known as the office environment. That office environment is there. But when the moment you come to online, there is in fact absence of office environment. there are technical glitches. I'm working on some project, then suddenly there is a technical glitch and there is no office mentorship. Maybe some corporates are very kind enough. They say that, okay, fine, we are assigning this particular individual to Pragya for her internship. Now, Pragya has been told specifically that you call me only between 3 to 4. Now, if you have a problem with the project which has been assigned to you, you are absolutely, in fact, at bay. You don't know what to do because your mentor has told you that you call me at between 3 to 4. But if you see from the recruiter's perspective, there is a large pool because the recruiters, they get a lot of option in the online mode. They just post the information in LinkedIn. They post the information in Facebook. So all the institute who are keeping track of various social media, they try to acquire that information and they disseminate that information in the students cohort and they try to get the talents for this particular thing. But of course, along with this, now online internship, if we talk about, this is of course very, very important because now it's a technology driven society. Okay, there was a time when a hotelier used to put up a property, he used to put up a board, he used to, in fact, distribute handbills. Now, the same hotel recruiter, a hotel property owner, he is putting up the details in My Travels, he is putting up the details in Ohio and various other sites where his property may be accessed by people who are intending to stay there. Now, take the case of a driver. If I am a driver of a vehicle, simply driving the car and having a license is not sufficient. I should also be aware with the GPS system. I should also be aware with the driving skill of a car without gear. I'm talking about automatic gear. I cannot say that, no, I learned driving that time, but I don't know how to operate the GPS. You should be conversant with the technology and you should move with time. Now, the major strength as far as the online internship is concerned, the recruiters get a larger pool and the students also get better familiarity with the technology. And this also turns out to be a more efficient and productive way of doing it because the company's cost is curtailed. Okay, you don't have to spend money on them for traveling or on refreshment and giving them stipend, things like that, because you're doing everything on offline mode. But again, in fact, the major, weakness which I pointed out is that, of course, that office environment matters. Okay, getting into CBS, getting into JD Birla, in that ambience, sitting and attending classes will always make a difference. Sitting at home, sitting in my drawing room, sitting in my bedroom, okay, and attending classes will definitely not be that fruitful. And of course, there is, in fact, the absence of mentorship as well.
On Android.
May I request Ms.
Before I
Chandrima
go
Datta?
forward, I would request Miss Shushmita Panda and Miss Chandrima Datta to please mute yourselves because it has been constantly disturbing the session that we are going through. Kindly, I request, please mute yourself. Miss Chandrima Datta, kindly mute yourself, please.
Missed call.
Chandrima Datta, please mute yourself. Chandrima, please do the needful.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is a wonderful, in fact, a classic example of technical glitches.
Technical glitch, yes, and that we are facing each and every day,
Yeah.
no matter what, because still we are getting accustomed with this new format.
No, that's right. That's
Right. So yeah, so as you told that technology is evolving and that we need to get accustomed, so online internship has to happen, considering the present phase that we are going through. At the same time, disadvantages are there. I will have my one last question to you before I move forward to the students, if they have any questions to take it for Mr. Mario. So my question would be like, since you said that we have to adjust ourselves with this new format of online internship, though there is certain disadvantages and of not having an feel of office environment. Uh, please, Miss Kundu, kindly mute yourself. I would request everyone to mute themselves because it actually hampers the flow of the session. Miss Kundu, please mute yourself. Miss Uma Kundu, please mute yourself. It's a request. My question to you, Mr. Mario, an online internship for an HR student is understood. An online internship for a finance student is understood. An online internship for a marketing students who want to build their career in an edtech space is understood. But someone with respect to the FMCG sector, with respect to the telecom sector, having an exposure, proper exposure through pursuing online internship, how much it adds value ultimately in their building up their core competencies and skills.
Now you see, like as you have said that HR is okay, but again, finance is a problem because I wanted to just correct you. Finance is a problem because
It's a problem, but still we
yeah.
can get adjusted. Still we can try.
No, it is okay. You can try, but again, finance is a problem because during this pandemic period, you see, companies, they do not want to disclose their financial status. Okay,
it's the eternal problem. Like the companies would never want to disclose the
they will never
status
disclose.
of the.
They will never disclose. So add on to that, Mane, I'll come back to your question. There is one more area which I also want to highlight in this particular platform. You suppose if I'm an HR guy, I must have, in fact, a basic, some knowledge about marketing. I should also have the knowledge about, finance. Now, this endeavor has to be undertaken by the, respected faculty members, because simply, like only command over my domain area is not sufficient. I must have, in fact, a flair of marketing. I must have a flair of finance as well. Now, as I was telling you that the companies are not willing to share the financial data. For example, when I talk about marketing, there are two aspects to it: core marketing and, in fact, the secondary aspect. Now, when it comes to core marketing, when you have been asked to, in fact, interact with the customers at the micro level. Now,
Miss Sumona Sen, please mute yourself. A lot of background noise coming from your end.
So when you're asked to, in fact, interact at a very micro level, in the online mode, the option is not there, because the company gives you an array of information. They say that I want to promote this product, what is to be done? Now, if you look at a product life cycle, which we all know is introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, when in the introduction and in the growth stage, in fact, the various factors, advertising and various promotion campaigns plays a very crucial role. Now, the companies, they give these kind of inputs to the internship students, but they do not disclose the strategy that they are going to adopt in order to launch the product. So there lies the, in fact, secret. behind this. But when you're doing on an offline mode, you are there in the market. You are going and talking to the retailer. দাদা আপনি এই particular product কেন নিতে চাইছেন? I'm standing in front of the shop and I'm asking him that why do you আপনি মানে এই particular সাবান কেন কিনছেন? কিসের জন্য কিনছেন? Is it only the price or is it the packaging or what are the other reasons? So I get first-hand information from the in fact customers. When I come back to the AC room of my boss, and I say that, sir, today I was standing in front of Deepak store located at Baliganj station. I saw people were coming and they were all asking for a particular soap. In fact, just casually, I spoke to some of them. What is the reason behind buying? Is it buy one, get one free? Or is it something else? And I got a solid input. So that matters. And in the process, what happens when they interact with people, these, in fact, youngsters, they also get a feel of the market. They also get a feel of the market
Very
because
true. Very true.
there was one student who was conducting a survey in fact, Spencer's. He came and shared with me the inputs. He was conducting a survey. That assignment was given to him. He said, sir, in fact, very few people were very pragmatic in answering my question. Others, they literally just shoo me away. And then one particular gentleman, he said that, I don't want to hear all these things. Please stop this. I don't have the time. And he felt so depressed. He came back and he's saying that, sir, I'm not liking this particular assignment. I said, you see, this is what this society is all about. You must try to understand they have not rejected you. They have rejected the concept that you are promoting. It is not that you have been rejected. You look like Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, they have not rejected Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan is a known brand, but they have rejected the concept that you are, in fact, promoting in the market. Those questionnaire which you have with you and you are approaching them to answer. So that is there.
Very true, very true. We also, to add on to this, we have also noticed that I would say one of our students who was doing his sales, her sales rather, she's a female, so she was doing her sales internship with Airtel. So initially for the first 1 or 2 days, she has to it's a channel sales role wherein she has to meet the distributors, the retailers. So she was initially, for the first or second day, she was like, she got totally zoned out. That, ma'am, I'm not much comfortable doing this. But from the third day onwards, she started enjoying the role. And then she later came back to me and she told me that, ma'am, I think I am quite suitable for this role. And thanks a lot that you did not accept my issues that I told you. You rather motivated me to move forward, because what happens, this transition from college to corporate, there's a gap, and that happens wherein the students are not being able to get accustomed with the corporate life which they used to mix up with their college life. That's where the role of the institute to play, to make them get accustomed that this all problems we have also faced in our life, you will also face. Wait for some more time, then you take a decision whether you are fit for this role or not. Until unless you dive into the ocean, you would not be understanding the depth of the ocean. So I would now open this session for the students to take their questions for Mr. Mario. The first question, we have already got one question. Pragya Devnath, she's asking whether the post-pandemic online situation is going to affect the employability for freshers.
Pragya, it is not only the freshers, even people who are already employed, they are also in fact facing challenges. Okay, you must have read in the newspaper, there is a pay cut, there is a layoff, companies are being shut down. In fact, people are in fact asked to leave. So these things are part and parcel of life. So don't get disturbed. Do your studies properly. Do your internship also extensively. And You see, there is always a place for a good student. You groom yourself, prepare yourself better. Of course, if we go back, two, 3 years back from now,
ফোর
that
ক্যারি
time,
ওয়ান
at
তাহলে
that
এই ওয়ানটার সাথে এখানে তো আর কিছু নেই তাহলে এই ওয়ানটার
at
সাথে
that
এটা
time,
অ্যাড হয়ে
the
গেলো।
challenges were different, and now the
তাহলে
challenges are
আমার
different.
প্লেসটাতে টু হলো তো
I would request everyone please to mute yourself.
থাউজেন্ডস প্লেসে
It actually hampers the flow of the session. Miss Uma
Zero.
Kundu, kindly mute yourself.
And-
It's a kind request.
10,000 এর প্লেসে
Miss Uma Kundu, kindly mute
তাহলে
yourself.
তোমার নাম্বারটা হয়ে দাঁড়ালো
I would request the admin to mute Miss Uma Kundu because it's actually creating
Is
a
it understood by you?
problem. Miss Kundu,
Have
can
you
you please
understood?
mute yourself, or the
Ditto.
admin please mute Miss Uma Kundu.
এইটা একটু ট্রিকি সাম ছিল একটু
This is
অন্যরকম
again,
sound
as
ছিল।
usual, technical glitch.
Yeah.
We
Uma
have
ma'am
to
is
accept
Uma
it.
ma'am is teaching mathematics
Yeah.
to someone
So
from.
we have to accept. It's okay because we all are getting adjusted to this.
So I hope I have answered that question of
Yes, you're absolutely
young-
right. Yes, if you
Yeah.
can, if students can make themselves prepared and well groomed,
Yeah.
getting an
There is
employment
always
not
an opportunity. There is
absolutely
always an opportunity. Rome was not built in a day.
very
Please remember, Rome was not built in a day. And you continue with your studies. Keep working, and I'm sure things will happen, and you will see the light in the tunnel. Don't get depressed with the COVID and other things. These are all part and parcel of life. This too shall pass away.
This
That
too
famous
shall pass away.
maxim, remember that maxim, this too shall pass away.
Very true. This too shall pass away. So it was great hearing you out, Mr. Mario. We are at the fag end of our session, but before we end, we have
Excuse me,
Miss,
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question. Can I go ahead with
Can
it?
you please put forward the question in the chat box? It would be better for
Sure,
us to
ma'am.
take
Sure,
it.
ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So we will take one last question from Afzal, and then we will move to the last segment of our session. Anyone having any questions can put forward. We'll try if time permits. Else we'll take one last question to put an
Now,
end
by the time Afzal
Q&A.
starts typing it, I would like to keep the students engaged by
Absolutely.
a very, in fact, popular quote of Swami Vivekananda, which has come up in Times of India today, because this is where I wanted to highlight. And in fact, these kind of tricks or techniques, they can be no one better than Dipali ma'am to give that inputs to the students. You see, one has to be prepared for this session. Like before I came, I read today's, in fact, Times of India. It is so relevant. In that wisdom page, there is a quote of Swami Vivekananda: stand up, be bold, be strong. Take the whole responsibility on your shoulders and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. So this is a question which that young, in fact, lady had asked about the career path of the freshers. So that answers your question. Stand up and be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility on your shoulder and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. We as faculty members, as teachers, we will guide you, but again, you have to tread the path and you can change the world and you are the change maker.
Very true. We need to be the creator of our own destiny, because nobody else is going to tread the path on the path that we need to tread upon, because ultimately it's us who can shape our own career in the way that we want to. All the factors that are around us is just going to add value to our own self and just facilitate us to achieve the objective that we always target upon. So the question has come: are there any ways to enhance social interaction between colleagues, for that matter, even students, in a learning setup in this pandemic situation, where human presence have been substituted by technology? So is there any sort of a method or scope to enhance social interaction in this era of pandemic, wherein we all are bound by technology?
Asfaq, to answer your question, is that Afzal Asfaq? That question has been pinned by Afzal
Yes.
Asfaq.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
Asfaq, okay, fine. Now that's a very good question. I'm so proud that you guys are pinning questions to us. It's enjoyable because we want to hear that cacophony of students. Because Pragya was saying to send that question in the chat box. The moment you popped up in the screen, when I heard your shrill voice, so we could feel that we are back in the class. That
I also
cacophony.
agree with you. I also agree with you. You know, that's more how we relate to our students
Right.
and interact with them.
Yeah, we were missing that
In fact,
cacophony.
I also felt, you know, we are talking of disruptions. This is another way of adding to the disruption.
Right, exactly. So, in fact, now regarding that social interaction which we are talking about, Afzal, now there is a COVID protocol. Now, what we can do is that we can divide the social interaction in a piecemeal. In a piecemeal, like we invite a small number of students on the campus, we interact with them, and then on a subsequent day we bring in another group of students and we interact with them. But again, this all depends upon the in fact, I would say approval from your parents. Will they allow you to come to the university? Will they allow you to come to the colleges? So once if they allow, that social interaction will happen. Okay, so you can come in small numbers, meet your teachers, meet your faculty members, take some feedback with them, and even when you're moving around, of course you have to follow the protocols and you have to move around, and you can interact in small group. Leave aside the technology fact, but again, when we are talking somebody in person, in fact, whatever you say, it comes from dil se. So when it comes from dil se, it touches.
Absolutely, absolutely. When it comes from, they'll say it touches. It touches the sentiment that we
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
pass upon. So we are at the last segment of our today's session. It was great hearing out Mr. Mario.
Thank
We would
you.
look forward to your more such sessions like this. We have with us Professor Dr. Dipali Singhi, uh, who actually needs no introduction for her students with in JD Birla. But again, since we are going on live and lot many people are hearing from outside as well, so I would take a minute's time to introduce her to the outer audience that we have through the social media that we are streaming today live. Uh, Professor Dr. Dipali Singhi has got over 25 years of experience in teaching students at the undergraduate level and postgraduate level. She is presently the principal at JD Birla Institute, which is a very reputed institute affiliated to Jadavpur University. And she has been serving as the principal for the institute for the last 16 years. She has been, I would say, she has been accoladed by many professional bodies, many professional bodies. I would like to name a few. She was being appointed as a member of CII Education Subcommittee in 2019-20. She was appointed as NAC peer team member for conducting assessment of colleges. She appointed as the member of Governing Council, Shri Shikshatan College, Kolkata in 1920-21 session. She was invited as the review committee member to attend the meeting for the review of home science books by the Central Board of Secondary Education, New Delhi. So these are just few. There are a lot more. The list is long, pretty long. So it will take lot many time if I start on stating all this. Apart from this, she has received the Women Super Achiever Award on the occasion of 7th edition of World Women Leadership Congress in the year 2020. She has also received Women Leadership Award by West Bengal Best Brand Awards in 2019. She was facilitated as the Principal of the Year by Gurukul Awards in 2019. Again, facilitated as the Principal of the Year by Sankalp Education Awards in 2019. She was facilitated as the Top Achievers in the Field of Education by Jain International Trade Organization in 2019. Again, the list is pretty long and it will take a lot of time if I have to cover. So I'm just stating a few, and a minute's time is quite a less time for us to cover up her professional achievement. And we are really thankful to have you, madam, for today's session. And since we are at the fag end, at the last segment of today's session, and we are talking about evolution of technology, we are talking about disruption of technology. And since you are heading the institute, of a reputed institute, and you have been interacting with various students at the UG level, I would like to ask you that's a very intriguing question from my end. I have been thinking on this, so thought of like it, you'd be the apt person to answer this. What we have seen that normally UG students, after completing their course in graduation, are getting jobs. In today's scenario, why a management education is required? What do you think? How management education, why it is required, and if it is required, how it adds value to the students overall core competency level?
Uh, Thank you so much, Ms. Pragya. Before I give you my answer, one important thing that you've mentioned some of my accolades and recognition, but the most important one I feel that I am my college that I'm serving today for the last 27 years to be precise is my own alma mater. And that's the biggest recognition I think I have, especially my students, in front of my students. I am a student of J.D. Birla Institute and I passed out in 1992. So many of you were probably not born, and I'm very proud to be a JDBN. That's how I would put myself in front of my own children. And another thing, we also have with us Mr. Topobroto Ray, the head of the Department of Management. Today, the students who are attending this session are the management students, and we also have the head of the department with us here present today. Going to your question, I personally, this is my personal opinion, which I've been observing for a long period of time, and especially with reference to my college, because our college is primarily a UG course-based college. And we are seeing that our students are doing so well in terms of placements, especially the ones who are opting for placements, because we don't have too many students, opting for placement. In fact, we've also had so many times companies writing to us after selection that, ma'am, why don't you put in a word? Why don't you encourage the child to join? At times we've had the reverse problem, which most students, which most colleges, are facing, is that they are unable to place the students. And we have another problem that our students are getting placed, but they are not really keen on taking the placements because many of them are looking forward to higher education. Personally, I feel that when a child is in its, I would say the career phase of his life, when he's planning his career and almost at the fag end of his education, I feel they should be absolutely clear, because it's not so easy to come back to study after a very long time, especially in the traditional mode. So most of our children, after finishing their BBA, they are opting to go for higher studies, and most of them are opting for an MBA program, which could be in various specialized fields that they would like to study. So going by the trend, and definitely since they are benefiting, I will probably give them this credit that they have decided for themselves, and such a large number of children going for higher education in the field of management. I do feel that probably at some stage in their life, it is definitely benefiting them. And once they complete their education, then, it's like the world is open to them. As we say, they are the creators of their destiny. I'm sure they're going to make their destiny once they are equipped with this weapon, which is called education. So in that respect, a management education becomes very, very important, and I would say imperative in some cases, especially for children doing a bachelor's program in business administration. In India, in West Bengal, it's mostly known as BBA, but in many other parts of the country, they have various names for this program. So definitely management is one area that will equip them for this employment. And, very beautifully, I would really appreciate and, really give my compliments to Mr. Mario. It was such an, engaging speech and, your discourse that you've given. I'm sure my children would have benefited, and it must have put them to think on few areas, because we are also this year in the process of providing them with online internships. I do not know how much that's going to benefit them, but definitely, it will keep them engaged. At least some interaction with people from the industry will go a long way in, building their networks, as well as, giving them an opportunity to interact with people from the industry. So I think all students who are present here, you all have so far been fighting this pandemic so well, and hats off to you that, you've had your patience and you've been, carrying on for more than a year now. That's something very commendable. That just so shows that you have the grit, you have the confidence, and you definitely have the patience to accept anything in life. So just a few more months to go before you graduate out. And, we have brought in our sister concern today, Calcutta Business School, here for you, so that, you can think of an option of joining the Calcutta Business School, which is a special college, and where you will be given special, concessions and benefits that you can, if you want to do your MBA program from there. So that was the purpose, and that definitely, we've had Mr. Mario giving us such valuable inputs in what is going to happen in years to come, especially with technology disrupting our lives in this manner. We will have to make the best of it and use this opportunity to our benefit. This is something which I would want all my children to understand, that have confidence in yourself and definitely look up to learning throughout your life.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. It was great the way you have summed up, and absolutely, you're right that it's imperative to complete the education properly to accelerate in the career. Because as we all know that yes, UG degree would help you to fetch a job, but in the long run, you need to have your management education or degree with yourself to accelerate and to get promoted to the next level. And that's where the completion of educational cycle comes into the picture to have a proper professional growth. And as we absolutely know that any ideal institution is based upon 3 T's, that is technology, transparency, and trust. And that's where this Shikshayatan Foundation as a group comes forward for all the students who are a part of it by this way or the other, either by being a student of JDBI or Shri Shikshayatan or CBS. That's where the beauty of any group or educational foundation stands upon. So with this, it was really great again to have Mr. Mario with us.
Thank you.
And adding value to the discussion in such a fantastic manner. And at the end, Madam Dipali Madam had rightly summed up and concluded, wherein she trusted upon that yes, it's imperative to complete the education in a proper way to have a growth in the career, wherein we all look forward, and ultimately it's the success that we look forward or aim in our life. So with this, we would like to end today's session, and we would look forward for more such engaging sessions in the near future as well. So thanks a lot, and thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot to
Pragya.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Pragya. And before we wind up, in fact, if Dipali ma'am permits, I want to share a very popular number of Kishore Kumar for the youngsters,
Great,
because
great.
So sweet.
that festive,
Fantastic.
that in fact the college fest mood is missing. The students are missing.
Oh, yes.
If
we missed
Dipali
them
ma'am
so much.
permits, I'll just sing
Please,
few
please.
lines of
Oh,
that.
that would be lovely.
Please.
रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के ओ राही 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 ओ राही. Thank you, ma'am.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
So much, Mr. Mario.
Because
was
that
really-
college fest environment is missing all time, online lecture, online talk, online. So I wanted to shift the attention of the students from
And
that
I, as the
online-
principal, I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not neither online with the children. I've not seen their faces for almost a year.
Yeah, thank you so much. It
And,
was
and I
pleasure.
really thank you so much.
Thank
It
you,
was
thank
such
you,
a
ma'am.
brilliant.
Thank you so much. Thank
It
you.
was a brilliant
Yeah.
session, and it was nice to end on a very musical note.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot
Thank
again, everyone who have attended today's session from JDBI and from CBS and from the outside fraternity of ours through the social media wherein we are going live. So thanks a lot, and we would look forward for more such sessions, and we would come up with more such sessions
Yeah.
for all of you to have an engaging and an enlightening life ahead. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you one and all. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here. And it was always a pleasure. And thank you, Dipali ma'am, once again for...
I should be thanking you, and I wish you, if you can share your number with us. So
Sure,
that-
ma'am. Sure. I will. In fact, what I'll do is that I'll send a mail across. I have Pragya's email ID, and I'll share my number. And I do have your visiting card. I remember once I had been, I had been to the college to meet you with some on an official visit. But this time, if I happen to pass that way, I'll just sneak in for a cup of coffee.
Of course, please. It will
Okay,
be nice.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
nice.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Pragya. Thank you,
Thank you.
Chandrajit.
Thank
And
Thank you,
thanks,
Pragya,
Naya.
and thank you so much, Dr. Don, for organizing this session for us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Wish
you very
everyone
much
a
for
very,
that.
very good evening.
Yeah, thank you.
I also invite Professor Singhi, please come into our campus so that you can also.
I've been to the campus several times, but yes, I can come. Of course.
Over here, when there will be a full-fledged college, so please come. You also talk to our students, and also this is also your college. We are all part of the led by Mr. S.K. Birla. So that is very fine. And Mr. Mario, please come.
Sure, sir. Sure. I will.
And also
I will.
share certain ideas.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Take care, sir. Take care. Thank you so much.
And thank
So,
you all
ma'am,
the
with your
students for
permission,
joining.
yeah, with your permission, I take leave. Okay. Thank you so much.